We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Kansas City Chiefs cornerback Trent McDuffie. He's looked amazing in his limited snaps, giving up 0 catches, only getting targeted twice in about 83-ish snaps. Love how he's looked, love the versatility that he brings to the team. He can play man, zone, he's very instinctive, great feel for routes, understanding of route concepts overall. Haven't even got to see his ability as a tackler yet. Coming out of Washington, he was very physical. He's a little undersized guy, but he plays with a lot of competitiveness, very high effort player, all around quick twitch athlete. So let's get right into this one. Really love this rep from McDuffie. Does a great job staying over the top, maintaining his leverage, great positioning, and then squeezes the sideline. He hasn't gotten targeted too much in those 80-ish snaps that I was talking about, only twice, 0 catches. Would love to see him get targeted more in a game, but they're shying away from him. He's just playing great coverage, allowing little separation. Just great job staying square as long as possible, and then good footwork. Once he sees him commit to the outside, to mirror match him, stay over the top, high outside lever or high inside leverage right there, knowing he has no help over the top as they're playing quarters here, but he's basically in man-to-man on the outside. And then love based on his positioning, how he turns back into the receiver to find the football, because he's high over the top, so he's expecting, if he was to get targeted, a back shoulder, just based on positioning, and just really, really high-level nuanced play from McDuffie. He's a very smart player for a rookie. Chiefs are in quarters on this play, and just watch McDuffie. He does a great job of selling like it's going to be cover 2, but then he sinks to take away. Just love the zone awareness that he plays with here. He sort of pushes this receiver to the inside. Once he sees him take more of an inside release, he peeks, sees number 8 sneaking out into the flat. This is the curl flat defender, but he comes and tries to take Malik Willis on, get a rush on him. But McDuffie is sort of leveraging this route, still gaining some depth to take away the corner that's coming. He understands route concepts. Even with no eyes on this, he knows to gain his depth. He's reading the eyes, flips back around, just takes away the corner route, and then Willis drops his eyes, doesn't see the flat. But McDuffie knew that he had to take away the corner because he could come down and make a tackle in the flat, and he's this deep quarter defender, so he just does his job so well. He's such an advanced player with his eyes. I love watching his eyes combined with his footwork. He's a very quick twitched athlete, fluid hips, flip those hips around, and just taking away these throwing lanes by leveraging multiple routes. The transition quickness, it's very efficient. It's very, very fun to watch McDuffie play. This is one of McDuffie's targets, and I know I saw some people complaining about the non-pass interference being called. I think it's close. This is a tight end. He's in cover 0, and I don't think McDuffie really hooks him, grabs him, or anything like that. He just kind of maybe runs through him a little bit, but I mean, considering the size difference, I don't think, Hooper should get that call. I mean, this is cover 0. He plays this pretty well. He's taking away, it's 3rd and 4, so he's taking away the slant route. He wants to force Willis to push this ball down the field, maintains inside leverage. He's not scared of the tight end's speed, and then gets in the hip pocket, plays this, turns back. This is why I don't think it's a thing, because he does hook his hip here, but he doesn't turn him. See how he takes the hand off? This isn't holding or pass interference unless you turn them. So he takes his hand off and then never, really does anything else other than that. They could call this, but I think this is a pretty nice high-level play by McDuffie here at the catch point. See how he turns and locates the ball too. If he just went through the receiver, through the tight end without turning to locate, then this might get called, but he turns to locate. He doesn't turn and twist the receiver's hips. Just a really, really nice play from McDuffie. This time in cover 0, no help over the top. He makes a big play on 3rd down. McDuffie just really understands his positioning. Chiefs are in cover 6 here, and he's an outside quarter defender, but they're having him press the outside guy, and doing this in zone to be able to turn back into the quarterback to keep eyes on, and just look at his footwork here, inching back, staying square, hands to chest, and then once he gets control, eyes back to the QB and stays over the top. He just completely takes away this route from the beginning. And for a smaller guy, he is not afraid to get physical. He's very, very competitive. Love the physicality that he plays with, and this is just really, really good stuff. Little nuances, subtlety that he plays to his game that you just don't see rookie or young corners playing with for the most part, and McDuffie already playing at such a high level. Can't wait to see more targets come his way, because I really think he's going to start making a lot of plays on the ball. Another good man-to-man rep from McDuffie, this time in cover 1. Great job maintaining his leverage through the deep crosser. A lot of times corners can really struggle to cover the drags, the deep crossing routes in man-to-man. I know some people, I remember pre-draft, had some concerns about McDuffie being a smaller guy, getting over on these crossers. A lot of smaller guys tend to struggle with this, but he just is so technically advanced and just very aware and reads body language of receivers very well. He stays square, he stays patient, and once he commits to the inside, he gets over the top, transitions with him, and then is just right in the hip pocket, and uses his hands to get in his positioning right there, pull on a little bit. When a receiver tries to push off you, you pull just enough, make it subtle enough to where it's not going to get called. He's very advanced in that situation, and then just perfect positioning, taking away the cross on a very, tough situation in the coverage that he's in man-to-man. And he knows pre-snap, based on his alignment, like pre-snap, receiver's pretty tight to the line of scrimmage. A crossing route is very likely here. It's definitely one route indicator. And McDuffie, very smart player to recognize that and just stay in perfect position. He's really one of the funnest prospects I've got to watch coming out of college. And now for the Chiefs, I'm excited that he's healthy again because it's made for some fun film watching for sure. McDuffie in perfect positioning again, being attacked vertically. A lot of times, the biggest worry with smaller corners is how can they handle on the outside on a vertical plane against, some faster guys, some bigger guys on the outside. McDuffie is just so good, technically staying square, inching back. Once he commits, he shoots out the hands, shoots that left hand to the left shoulder. You want to shoot your offhand here. Plays this perfectly, turns the hips, stays over the top, high inside leverage, squeeze into the receiver to sort of get him to the sideline, make this the hardest throw as possible. And then I don't even know if they technically count this as a target because he might be throwing it to the other guy. Really, no receiver has a chance. Might just be a miscommunication. But, he definitely was throwing it to him, but trying to get like the fade. But McDuffie, just in perfect positioning, gives this route literally no chance from the beginning. Just such a good player. Really want to see him versus even better receivers because the Titans don't have the best receivers. But in the first game of the season, he looked good versus Arizona too, who have pretty good receivers. So definitely excited to see him face better opponents, get more targets, because coming out of Washington, I was a huge fan, and he already looks like a rising star in the limited snaps that he's played in. This play might not seem like much, but just pay attention to McDuffie. Don't cover grass. A lot of times when you watch people play in zone, they decide to cover grass. They get a sack here. Malik Willis trying to scramble around, but just watch him. They're in cover 2, so he is the flat defender, cloud corner, and then no one is threatening him. He's on the backside of a 3x1. Backside of a 3x1. He only knows number 1. He gets his eyes to the other side field. No one's threatening him yet. He sees this guy break for the curl, so he just squeezes his throwing lane right here. Squeeze the window. Don't just cover grass. So many guys I just see covering grass in zone. They don't have that awareness. And then, once he looks in the backfield, sees the receiver, quarterback scrambling, and then the receiver that he was squeezing on runs the opposite side of the field. So he gets back, gains depth, and then helps on this route. Just very aware, just not covering grass the entire time. Very good stuff from McDuffie. Very smart player. Love to see that advanced sort of play style as a rookie. It's going to be special to watch him for years to come. Cover 2, the flat corner, you got to understand different variations of smash concepts. Just look at him. He's so aware. He's taking away smash the entire time, different sort of look out of smash. Usually, it's the number 1 that's running the curl, but when they're tight like this, you have the number 2 sit on the curl. You want to take his eyes to break on this, and then he wants to hit this corner 7 route over the top of the corner. This is the whole shot right here. It's a weakness of cover 2. McDuffie just gains depth, takes this away. Never a throwing lane for this. He's just super smart. He knows based on this curl being thrown here, it's not really threatening the flat enough, and that this linebacker can squeeze and take this. So he's not even worried about it at all. Usually you have to leverage it. It's usually a little farther out, and he has to, play both routes at the same time, take away both throwing lanes, and then come down, make the tackle on the curl. But he can just take this away right away. Kyler's looking at it, and then, you end up forcing him out of the pocket, making him scramble, giving your defense an opportunity to get a sack. He's just playing such great coverage on the back end in all different types, from cover 0 all the way to cover 4. He looks amazing. Matched up on the outside, one-on-one versus AJ Green. Just look at the anticipation here. He finally gets a really hard full-speed route from Green, and he's able to undercut this. This is such good anticipation. This is 3rd and 15. He knows this route probably be run near the sticks, and he sees Green hard running, trying to sell vertically, and then he raises the pad level, starts to chop the feet, sink the hips, and McDuffie is just in perfect position the entire time, ready to undercut. to take away the throwing lane, make a play on the ball if it is thrown to him. He's just really great understanding of leverage. His anticipation, his route recognition is off the charts for any player. So that's really, I can't wait until the ball actually gets thrown his way in these situations, because I really think he could make some big turnovers for this Chiefs defense. Definitely, I think he's their number one guy. Even, missing all these games, he's going to come in, be their top corner. And I think he also, if he needed to be, he can follow, shadow, even into the slot. He has that skill set to play down in the slot, because he can definitely make some plays versus the run, get him involved in the run fit. Very smart, too. They're very physical, high-effort player. So just looking forward to seeing him be unleashed in the upcoming weeks. Last play that I'm going to break down on McDuffie. Here, pre-snap motion. He ends up becoming man-to-man on AJ Green, so he has to, adjust on the fly. This is something you want to see out of your young players, being able to adjust on the fly. Then come into man, out of balance, untouched, and then still able to stay pretty good in technique, stay under control, poised, read the hips of the receiver, don't even have hands on him to feel the hip sync this time, and he sinks those hips, and you're just mirroring matching with his footwork perfectly. AJ Green, I know not the greatest receiver anymore, but still pretty solid, and McDuffie's able to match this perfectly. Want to see him match up for some better receivers too, and some guys that are more like his size. I want to see him go over sort of quicker, twitchier type of receivers. Going against Titans and AJ Green a lot in this game, those are a little bigger guys, a little less fluid, and he's able to match those guys with super ease. That's why he rarely allowed any separation in those two games that he's played. So yeah, looking forward to watching him play for the Chiefs for quite some time. He's a big-time player for them. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see any other players, leave us some comments on who you want me to watch. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.